In this video, as part of Blackboard Collaborate Ultra set of videos, I am going to show you how to create a scheduled session. Once you have gone into Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, you can either click on this button for Create Session or this Create Session button over here. It doesn't really matter, they both do the same things. So you start off by creating session, and you can give this session a name. Let's call this one Topic 1. Once you've created a name, you will see there's immediately a Join Session button because it is currently on the date and time that we are in now. You can use an anonymous dial-in, but you will notice it is an international number, so that is not a feature that we will use. So we go to Event Details. First of all, we select a start date. Let's set it for tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And you can set an end date for the session. Let's make it for 10 o'clock, so it's an hour session. Or you can tick this box and make it no end, so it's an open session and it will only have a start date and time. You can set the session to repeat, so let's say you want your students to meet you online once a week or once a month. You can tick repeat session and you can repeat it daily, weekly or monthly. And you can set every week, every second week and so forth. But we are not going to repeat the session in this instance. The next thing we need to look at is early entry. This is a wonderful way of opening your classroom a couple of minutes beforehand so that students can test their audio and their setups at home. And you can set this no early entry, so the classroom only opens at 9 o'clock exactly, 15 minutes before time, 30 minutes, 45 or 60 minutes beforehand. I would suggest that you set it to about 30 minutes before the start time so that students do have the time to set up their microphones, etc., etc. If you look at further session settings here, the default attendee role, this means when anyone logs into the session, their default will be either participant, presenter or moderator. Your participant will generally be your students. Presenter will be anyone that is presenting during this session, and moderator is the person or persons controlling the students and the participants in your session. So I'm going to set the default attending role as participant, and I can give them various options. If I am recording the session, I can allow the students to download the recording afterwards or not. You can anonymize the chat messages if you don't want the students' real names to pop up during the chat messages. You can have moderators in your session, only their pictures being shown instead of their webcams, that you can leave unticked. And then here your participants, so the default students coming into your classroom, you can give them the following options: share audio, share video, post chat messages, draw on whiteboard and files. Now there's a couple of things you need to keep in mind here. The first couple of times that your students make use of this option, if you've got a bunch of students with their microphones on, it's going to be very noisy. So I would, for the first couple of sessions, switch off their ability to share audio, but you can still, during the session as a moderator, you can go to a student and give them access to their microphones one by one. The same thing with share video. This I would leave off by default as it takes up a lot of bandwidth. The more video cameras you've got on, the more webcams you've got on. They can post in chat messages, so while the class is happening, they can ask questions and chat amongst each other in the chat box. And this is a very important one: draw on whiteboard and files. If you leave on draw whiteboard and files, you will give control to the students to draw on things that you might be drawing on at that time, or erase and delete things that you might be working on. So it's always a good option not to have that switched on. Enable session telephony. You can switch this off, as this makes use of an international number and it's not feasible for our students. You can also set the chat boxes to private chat if you don't want the students' names to be shown, and then if you are expecting a class larger than 250 students, you can tick allow 250 plus attendees to join, but please note you will have to make arrangements with a MyTutor service desk so that they can help you set up a session for 250 or more students. By simply clicking save, you will see topic 1 is now scheduled for students to enter on this date at this time.